Welcome back to Ekman Soch Ki TTalk Train of Thought with a series of an episode with Mr. Vikesh Wallia, Managing Director and the Editor of Broad Stewardship. We have seen his excellent journey in 20 years in FMCG industry, 20 years in the print media, and also as far as the corporate governance which is concerned, part of an IOD where he trained more than 1,000 directors. It's an exclusive talk or exclusively insights of Mr. Vikesh Wallia on TTalk. Sir, we have come across your beautiful book which you have written. That's a Titan of Unfair Business Practices. A more relevant, more apt book. Can you please throw more light on this?
Well, how can my life be complete without Council for Fair Business Practices and my role there? I'm on the board also. And when I joined Council for Fair Business Practices in 2014 or 15 sometimes, I met Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, who is the managing director, who was that time the chairman and managing director of Bajaj Electricals, and son of Mr. Ramkrishna Bajaj, who was known for fair business practices and having contributed to fair business in more than one ways. His two organizations that he was key founder were ASCI, which is Advertising Standard Council of India, and Council for Fair Business Practices, which he founded with Mr. J.R.D. Tata, where he took the lead, and it was a pioneering organization. It was a pioneering organization. So when I joined them, I always used to get inspired that what made them create this wonderful organization and how this organization is giving so much to the society through concept of fair business practices. So it was a concept of self-governance. This whole organization was inspired by the values of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and therefore the organization was also launched on 2nd of October 1966. Yeah, and led by Mr. J.R.D. Tata and few other people. So I wanted to convey this story and tell more and more people about the concept of fair business practices, which is self-governance. It is not regulated governance. It is not governance basis Companies Act or the SEBI.
More on self-governance.
Yeah, it is more on self-regulatory and self-governance, because that is what Mr. Mahatma Gandhi also, father of the nation, promoted and spoke about. That we should do self-regulatory.
And writing this Titan of Fair Business Practices, कितना समय लगा आपको?
So these are the 36 founders of this organization. When I used to sit in the meeting room, I used to find that many photographs and many details of the founders were missing. So I decided that I must at least contribute through a book, and Times of India Group was kind enough to give me this opportunity to publish this work for them. Yeah. And it took me a lot of time, because out of 36 founders, many were not reachable, many were not in India, and they had almost passed away. Many of them, hardly 2 or 3 of them are currently alive. People like Mr. Vishnu Haribhakti ji or Mr. Shroff. So only these 3 people are alive today. And I identified these lead people, 8 titans out of these 36 people, and decided to share their story, which is going to inspire more and more people in the next generation, that you don't necessarily have to be beaten by the government. You don't have to be pulled by the government, the rules, regulations. You can do a lot by yourself also.
Correct. Okay.
You can do a lot by yourself also. That's why this book is going to inspire people that how you can self-regulate yourself into doing the right things.
Okay.
So the whole values of fair business practices is doing the right thing the right way.
Correct. So rather
You
than
don't
being
need any rules.
rather than being part of some
Yeah,
rules and regulations, it's better to get self
absolutely.
governed, like work on those bases. And I think it's an excellent book, Titans of Fair Business Practices, which I think is a worth for us that we should at least go through this particular book and understand the contribution by all those legendary as far as the best business practices which are concerned. So it's an great insights what we have got, like your shift from FMCG to print, this thing, then from business side to the non-executive role into corporate governance, and then now being part of an board stewardship. I wish you all the best. I think kind of an initiatives what we are what you are taking to give it back to an society in a meaningful way, and also like when we talk in terms of corporate governance, we talk in terms of people, process, performance, and the purpose which is there. And above all, like stewardship, it really builds in the relationship between the employees and the management as such. So wonderful insights. Now, in fact, as far as you are concerned, what has been your personal idol of an inspiration? Who have really inspired you to achieve things in life? Like,
Well, many of the senior managers I worked with, people like Mr. R. M. Bhandari, who was the former managing director of Dunlop. He became our divisional head in Shawwalas. He had been a great source of inspiration for me. Mr. Ranjan Sinha, he was the sales manager at Hindustan Lever. He joined us as head of sales at Shawwalas. He inspired me a lot. Mr. Palekar was my boss at Balsara. He had been a great source of inspiration for me. Mr. Ravi Dhariwal at Times of India. He was a huge source of inspiration for me, and he's currently on the board of Bata and many other companies. Varun Beverages, Bata, and Sheila Foam, and many other companies he's on the board of. He inspired me a lot, and recently now, ever since I came to Council for Fair Business Practices, Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, the chairman of Bajaj Electricals, he had been a great source of inspiration. And my list will not be complete without mentioning Lieutenant General J.S. Ahluwalia.
okay.
30 years he has been promoting corporate governance in this country.
I see.
And my association with IOD has primarily been, inspiration, his inspiration, and the way he has been conducting the whole organization and showcasing India's corporate governance in India, abroad, in Dubai, London, Singapore, every year for the last so many years. These people have inspired me, and obviously many people who worked with me in my team, they have also been at very high positions. They are managing directors and chairman of many companies now. Those who used to work with me, they have also contributed and inspired me. Many people I worked with were very, very inspiring people. I'm fortunate enough that the people I got to have in my team, they were exceptionally talented people. They were far better than me, and I loved learning from them.
Great. I think TTalk, Ek Bun Soch Ki, I think they are fortunate enough to have Mr. Vikesh Wallia on this TTalk show for an exclusive interview, and the insights what we got of Mr. Vikesh Wallia. 20 years into FMCG, 20 years into print media, then changing the gear to corporate governance, and then also coming up with a book on Titans for unfair business practices. Now, somewhere down the line, like, maybe at certain age in your career, like, yes, we understand, like, you have to make your career, you have to make your base more strong. But now, since the role of Mr. Vikesh Wallia is for a higher purpose, like, how he can transform the directors, how he can transform the overall the processes in the businesses which are concerned and which can contribute to a country in a meaningful way. And I'm sure with such a rich experience in the industry and into the corporate governance, certainly in our next episode we are going to catch up with sir as far as the career advice for the young generation, young professional, and for an MBA students. Till then, stay tuned to TTalk Ek Bund Soch Ki. And if you like Mr. Vikesh Wallia series of an episode, just go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. And also in each and every video, you are free to put your comments. I'm sure Mr. Vikesh Wallia will address any questions which are there which you want to ask to him. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for your valuable time.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva. Thank you very much.
Thank
Sincerely
you.
appreciate. Thanks,
Thanks.
TTalk. Thank you, Dr.